We are halfway through our masterclass series with Meridian Credit Union with the fourth class today. And our topic is important for anyone listening, no matter where you are in your financial journey, because stress and money go hand in hand. Dilys D'Cruz joins me today to discuss. Welcome back, Dilys.
Always great to be here, Candace.
I love this topic. I think it's something we don't talk enough about. We sort of think of them as separate things, and they're so intertwined.
Yeah. And I thought what a perfect time halfway through the masterclass to talk about the real why you want to take control and get help with your financial well-being really is what it's about. And so this study was done by Financial Planning Canada just recently, and 2 in 5 Canadians said money is the #1 source of stress in their life. And so that just hit me. And I thought, we're always talking about go see an advisor and here's what you need to do. And we're always talking about the how or what you have to do. But this is really about how important it is because it's directly linked to your health. And when you're stressed out, we all know that it can have an impact physically, it can have an impact mentally, it can have an impact on your relationships, which is what the study is saying. It's impacting all these things. And so I thought it was just an important topic to talk about.
And I think if we think about just think about all the ways this stress impacts our life. Divorce is one, marital issues are huge. Not being able to provide the way you might want to for your kids, that can cause stress, not being able to do the things you want to do. So there is all these things that sort of come from that. And so this is a way to create, taking control of this is a way to create some calm around you, right?
Yeah. And the interesting thing about this study, and I've got a bunch of numbers here, but is that people are losing sleep. They are losing sleep. And I think the number was, around 30-40% of people are losing sleep. Actually, it's higher, and women are losing more sleep. I think it was about 50% of men are losing sleep and about 47%. So, men are just as stressed, but women carry it more. And then, of course, you look at women with families and children. The added stress of that, they're carrying the burden of running the family, they've got their children, and now they've got this money stress. And so, what is it that people are really stressed about? And it was like 2 main things. It was about my future. So building a nest egg, whether that's retirement or saving for the future, and keeping up with bills and expenses. These are the big stress factors. About 30, well, it was equal. It was about 35% of each category is where people felt the stress. And now, I'm always on here talking about, you got to see a financial planner. And so this study actually talked about it objectively. And so I'm not self-serving. It actually goes to show why you should. And it talked about, the survey showed that once you had a financial planner, it significantly improved your well-being. And so that was really, and it said here that, and I'm pulling these numbers right off, is that once you had a financial planner, their finances didn't cause them as much stress. 37% went down to 19%.
Wow.
Once you had a financial planner in place. So, and they were less likely to cite money as their top source of stress. It was at 39% before a financial planner, and it went down to 23%. So now you've got numbers to prove why I always say, go see a financial advisor. Because if you think about it, right, when you have a physical ailment, you go see a doctor to deal with that.
Exactly what I was just thinking. I literally just thinking that very thing.
We're in sync. When you have, you're in sort of a mental crisis, or you're going through some, anxiety or any sort of mental illness or issue, hopefully people will seek out the help of a therapist or psychologist, and they go and get help. But yet we're really, really hesitant to go and seek the help of a financial advisor. And so I wanted to pause there because I really wanted your opinion on this. Why do you think that is? I don't have the answer, by the way, I'm not leading you. Why do you think people are hesitant to go see a financial planner?
Well, I mean, off the top of my head, I think there's, for some reason, in our society, there seems to be some shame associated with not being able to manage your money. And yet, if
Yeah.
you look at it, we don't teach it in school, although that is coming, thankfully.
Changing. Yes.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
And finances are complicated. Often my kids will come to me and they'll say, "Oh, this hurts," or "This hurts," and I'll say, "Well, I'm not a doctor, so let's
Yeah.
call our doctor." And
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
same with financial things. It's useless to ask me a question about TFSAs. I haven't gone to school for it. I haven't done a deep dive on it, but a financial planner is going to be able to tell you the same way a teacher or a doctor or somebody in that profession would know it, right?
Yeah. And I would say too, even in the industry, and I've been very transparent as well. I have a financial advisor because I don't do this for a living. I have the team that does this. And so even for me, who's been in the industry for, over 30 years in financial services, I look to my financial advisor to give me peace of mind. And so quarterly, he's touching base, he's telling me what to do. Tell me what to do. I actually like that, just tell me what to do because I don't want to worry about it. And so I do agree with you. And it's getting past that. I need to know the answers or I'm embarrassed that I don't have the answers because that added stress of not knowing and then just kind of, hoping it's all going to work out or just being locked in the stress of not having a solution, I think is causing a big problem.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes it just takes an outsider to say to you, if you were to put X amount of money away into this, here's where you could be. And they can show you all of those things. And sometimes it's hard because you're in the weeds. You can't see where you can cut. You can't see where you can change your budget. But if somebody's outside looking in, they see things you won't.
Yeah. And so another piece that came out of this study is that 3/4 of Canadians under 35 identified money and work as their top stresses. So money was 44% identified as a stress. So the Gen Zs, or the low end of the millennials, are really feeling that stress. And but they do acknowledge they're twice as likely to acknowledge that if I had a financial plan, I would have less stress. So, now you're getting the numbers to give you reasons exactly why you want to go. And you just think about it's so easy to get that advice. And obviously this is why I'm doing this. This is why my team's doing this. And we just built a website too. And we'll talk about that in a second. But there's a lot of resources out there to get help. And then it's just about contacting somebody and sitting down and talking to somebody.
Okay, so let's talk about some action steps then, because we know it causes stress. Everybody listening is just nodding their head right now saying, yep, I am totally stressed. So
Yeah.
let's give some action then to this. Before you see a financial planner, before you even pick one, what should you have in place?
So you have to really kind of have a sense, go in knowing your basics, right? Just know what your cash flow is. Know what your cash flow is so that basically what's your expenses, how much money do you have coming in and how much money do you have going out, and a general balance sheet, right? What are my assets? What are my liabilities? And I think just that collective to get you started. And depending on why you're seeing an advisor, is it debt that's stressing you out so that they could go in and help you restructure, give you some advice? Or are you also stressed out that I have debt and haven't saved for the future? So you want to go in and say, here's what I want to address. And the other thing is you don't have to address it all in one shot. It could be chunks and you sit with an advisor and you say, here's the things I want to address. And we can get there in several meetings, but definitely you need to know where you are financially before you go in and see someone, because you're going to have to articulate it for sure.
And I think people sitting at home are probably going, how much money is this going to cost me? That's always a
Yeah.
big one, right?
Yes. So it doesn't cost you anything. I mean, depending on who you go to. And so there are financial planners that for a fee, they will do a financial plan. But in our case at Meridian, it's you come in and talk to an advisor, you have a general conversation and they can give you guidance and it's not going to cost you anything. And then they can put you on a plan if it's whether debt repayment and whether it's growing your assets for the future. And that still is not going to cost you anything. So you don't have to pay anything, but I want people to take that first step. It's so easy. And now even more so, you can do it remotely, right? You don't even have to leave your house, which I love. I love it because I'm one of those remote people, although I can't wait to get out and talk to people again and be with people, but do it remotely. You can do it remotely or you can do it by phone and we can get you started for sure. But it's take that action step to meet with somebody.
Okay, so let's circle back then to the education piece, because that is something you're offering. None of us are going back to school, but we can get the education. So where can we get all of those pieces from Meridian?
Yeah, so I am super excited because, well, it was a late Friday. We launched our Her Sense, we call it Her Sense, website, and that is on our Meridian website under Wealth, and it has all sorts of information. We're going to continue to build it out. So all these segments that we've done are going to be on there. We talk about, are you going through career transition? How do you do a budget? All sorts of information. This will be a portal for people to go in and really get information and learn. And it's this kind of conversations. We're not going to talk at this level. We're going to talk just at the basic level to help people feel more comfortable. So go visit Meridian's website called Her Sense, specifically for women. So
All right.
yeah.
Wonderful. We're going to put that up on the video that goes out on social. And
Yeah.
if people would like to see the previous master classes, that's on whatshesaidtalk.com. And you're going to be back next month for more.
Yes, we are. And I would say on our website, we have a link to connect with an advisor. So you can do it virtually, just link and we will contact you. So you don't even have to leave your house. Great way to start the conversation.
All right. Incredible. Thank you, Dilys.
Okay, always great, Candace.